This video is going to provide you with tips that can make your life a lot better. By this I mean make you rich financially. These are lifelong lessons that should be part of your daily life. Before I tell you what to do, let me begin with a short and brief introduction. One of the oddest elements of modern society is the amount of people who go to great lengths to look richer than they are, even if it is to their own disadvantage. To be totally honest, this is driven in part by huge quantities of quick and easy credit being tossed around by banks under the command of central banks, and it is craziness. When you take a moment from the hustle and bustle of life and look objectively at the conduct of genuine wealthy people, you will be astonished to discover that they do not always follow the same patterns as individuals who are seemingly wealthy but internally impoverished. This article examines 10 features of the average millionaire's life that contradict our established assumptions about riches. It acts as a guide to understanding the wealthy as well as a guide to mimicking them in the greatest conceivable way, the approach that can contribute to your own future prosperity. Number 10. Buy a second-hand. Some items you can't, or don't want to, purchase used: underwear, food, and beds. When it comes to everything else, however, the wealthy are next in line to obtain a good deal by purchasing used. Most importantly, affluent people do not buy new automobiles, because to the awful devaluation that happens during the first few years of a new car, or, if they do, they prefer to keep it for at least 10 years to ensure they take the full worth out of it. Rich people adore antiques, which are not necessarily prohibitively costly, and second-hand furniture, but most significantly, they adore the value of buying used. Every penny saved by purchasing and recovering a used couch rather than a new sofa may then be invested or conserved for a transaction that will help ensure your economic future. Number 9. Buy affordable property. Rich individuals, in general, pay cash for their homes or have at least a 15% down payment. And, on average, wealthy individuals buy homes for no more than 2.5 times their yearly after-tax income. Rich individuals also like to acquire older pre-war homes, and it is quite uncommon for the wealthy to purchase a brand new home or have one built for them. This is most likely due to the mentality of the wealthy, who place a high value on quality, which was surely higher in the past, and do not want to bear the first depreciation of new items. See item 10. It is not only the very wealthy who are purchasing mansions and multi-million-dollar display houses. Those homes are for folks with large mortgages, large egos, and large financial difficulties. And, of course, there are some among us who have won the lottery. Poor them. Most lottery winners waste their winnings and wind up back where they started, but considerably more wretched for the loss. Number 8. Buy it for life. False economics is the belief that buying inexpensive is always the best option. It is preferable to buy one pair of shoes for $100 that will last 5 years rather than 5 pairs of shoes for $20 that will last 1 year each and necessitate 5 journeys to the store. But try saying that to the majority of people. Buy it for life is a trend for some, but a way of life for the wealthy. Wealthy individuals will spend time researching major purchases before making them to ensure that they are purchasing something that will endure as long as possible and, ideally, maintain some of its worth. This is why a wealthy guy will pay $1,000 for a suit, which appears expensive to the majority of us. However, a suit in that price range will last for decades. And if the guy, or his wife, can fix his or her own garments, they can last a lifetime. Prince Charles donned a 30-year-old suit with patches when he married Camilla Parker Bowles. But he still looked wonderful. Prince Charles is known among men's clothes enthusiasts as a highly fashionable man. Number 7. Wait for good deals. Human mentality is insane, so to speak. In research after study, participants who were given the option of receiving $5 now or $10 in 2 months picked the $5. We all appear to have something somewhat wrong with our thinking because the $10 offer is plainly the greatest option, barring such things as an immediate need for money. This is not an issue for the wealthy. The rich will wait months, or even years, to acquire the greatest possible price for anything. That is how the affluent escape crises like the 2008 real estate meltdown. People who bought properties they couldn't afford or utilized free bank money to build up a property portfolio in a get-rich-quick scheme were the ones that suffered the most from the crisis. Number 6. Don't retire. You cannot get wealthy overnight. Rich individuals spend their entire lives amassing riches by scrimping and saving and adhering to the other patterns indicated in this list. However, there is a stronger motivation not to retire when you're affluent. Most wealthy men run their own firm, little or large, and when you're self-employed, you're significantly more inclined to stay working since you're enthusiastic about your business. Number 5. Be frugal. Frugality is not only fiscally sound, but it is also environmentally sound. People who are exceedingly thrifty tend to squander less. My grandma saved every bit of string from every delivery she got, as well as every shopping bag. She didn't do it because she was a crazy hoarder, she did it because she knew she would ultimately need those goods and wouldn't have to buy them. Being thrifty can be a lot of fun, and the amount of money you can save simply by being a little more careful with each purchase may be enormous. It is not without cause that the old proverb "a penny saved is a penny earned" developed. The rather cliched saying "a penny saved is a penny earned" was first reported in George Herbert's outlandish Proverbs in 1633 as "a penny sparred is twice obtained." Perhaps less lyrical, but surely more to the point. Number 4. Use coupons. A lot of millionaires were investigated to discover their behaviors in the book The Millionaire Next Door, The Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy, which I highly recommend. Almost all of the males polled said they spend more time clipping coupons than shopping. It was a frequent characteristic of the wealthy that at least one of the parties in the relationship was particularly conscious about expenditures. We may not all be able to go on the reality show Extreme Couponing, but we can all do our part to obtain the greatest deal on the stuff we genuinely need. Take note of how I stated really require. The affluent utilize coupons for goods they normally need or buy for their family, but the extreme couponers are seeking discounts whether they need a product or not, which, in case it isn't evident, is not saving at all. Excessive couponing. The mentally unstable. Couponing is a nice habit of the wealthy, extreme couponing. The mentally unbalanced. Number 3. Budget well. Every wealthy person adheres to a budget. And all wealthy people adhere to it. Maintaining a budget is critical, especially now that prices appear to be growing faster than central bankers can generate fresh money to benefit themselves and their buddies. The most crucial aspect of a budget is honesty. You must be honest with yourself from the start and ensure that you account for every cent and dollar you spend. Rich folks, like the classic nursery tale king calculating all his money in his counting home, would study over their budget for hours. This is required to guarantee that budget deviations are properly accounted for. It's almost as if there's a link between how much time you spend on your budget and how affluent you'll become. Number 2. Invest in tangibles. When the affluent get dollar rich, they do something that most of us, even the new rich, do not. They spend a percentage of their money in real commodities that enhance their lives in ways other than monetary. They will buy paintings, because they enjoy painting, expensive wine, because they enjoy drinking it, bullion, and antiques. Obviously, there is a financial benefit to keeping those items because they frequently rise in value over time, but they also have one additional feature that is possibly the most important: they are difficult to sell. When you have $1,000 in cash on hand, it is quite simple to spend it on a whim. Not if your $1,000 is tethered to a bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape. The necessity to sell your things to free up the cash allows you to take the time you need to consider if you truly want the $1,000 trinket you've been eyeing. Number 1. Don't look rich. The fact that no one can tell the genuinely affluent are wealthy is by far the most important feature of their existence. They're the normal people who live next door, drive an old vehicle, and work as many hours as you do. On the other hand, the person down the street who lives the luxurious lifestyle that everyone aspires to is undoubtedly cash poor and unhappy. Remember, while you're trying to keep up with the Joneses are attempting to stay up with the Smiths. Break the cycle right now. Begin focusing on the greatest things of your life, the parts that make living worthwhile. Most importantly, pursue your passion. The genuine pot of gold awaits you at the end of the route along which your passion leads you, happiness. In conclusion, this video has taught you what most rich people do, and make sure you include these virtues in your life if you want to be rich someday in your lifetime. You can do it. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to view amazing contents like this and turn on the notification bell to know when I upload my next video.